we're here with Honors goaltender Noah Tegelaar. Noah, man, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. So let's jump right into your hockey experience. Obviously, becoming a goaltender is a choice I imagine you make at a young age. Walk me through that and what made you want to be a goalie.
Yeah, I mean, I think I switched when I was 7 years old, and I was a defenseman before that, and you know, I wasn't the greatest defenseman, so when our team needed another goalie to go in net and kind of needed somebody to fill in the spot, I would do it, and I really enjoyed it. And then when I was 7, I just decided I'd rather do that than be a defenseman, so I made the switch.
So you're always trying to keep pucks out of the net, right? As
Yeah.
A defense. Were you more of a defensive defenseman? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess at 7, right? You can't really.
Yeah, no, I wasn't getting a lot of points. I was kind of staying at home, so decided to just get in the net.
Absolutely. Hey, well, it obviously worked out for you. Walk me through kind of, developing as a goaltender and, how that kind of shaped the game as you made your way toward the OHL.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've just been building on my game for the last however many years now, and just kind of work on everything in the off season, kind of just leading up to now, and just trying to get better every day.
What does that look like for you in the off season?
Usually, I mean, probably skate 3 to 4 times a week, kind of towards the season, kind of get like ramping it up and working out almost every day, and then you just kind of want to see some pucks, want to get on the ice, try to make a lot of saves, obviously, and hopefully you're good for the season.
Get that confidence up, right?
Yeah.
As many saves you can make in the summer, right? That'll translate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can imagine that makes things easier. Obviously, a really good career for you before you made it to the OHL. Talk about your time, in the lower, if you will, ranks of junior and how that kind of built your confidence ahead to an OHL career.
Yeah, I was supposed to play my second year U18, but then a goalie ended up getting hurt in Blind River in the Noge, and then they saw me at the Sioux training camp my first year, and then they wanted to sign me, and then I ended up playing my first year junior as a 17-year-old, pretty far away from home, so it was definitely a change. I had to move away and everything, but I loved it, and then I got a good opportunity to play a lot of games and kind of just got some confidence going into the next year, and then last year I played in Collingwood, and again, where I was able to play a lot of games and just ended up having a really good year, and the team is really good and had a lot of confidence, and then led into this year.
Not many better junior B spots, right, than Collingwood. Like, such a cool location right on the water there, and like such an unbelievable history of junior hockey there.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good spot to play. I mean, they won the league in the Centennial Cup the year before I was there, and they're a winning team. They have a good team every year, and they want the best out of you, and they push you to be better every day, so I couldn't have been happier to play there for a year.
Yeah, that's a great spot, obviously, and again, the resources that you guys have there, right, especially, at that level, unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's a great organization. They give you everything you need to become better.
Yeah, 100%. So then you transition to last year. You have the opportunity to play in the Sioux. A different experience, I can imagine. Talk to me, first of all, like what life is like in Sault Ste. Marie. Obviously, it's like such a remote location, us Erieites, so far away up there above Michigan. What is it like there in the Sioux?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cold. A lot of
Yes.
snow up there, and there's not a lot to do in the city, so you kind of you got to spend time with the team and kind of make it fun, because there's not a lot to do there, and it's pretty cold.
Yeah, it's very cold.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, the only 2 years that I've been traveling with the team, we went to the Sioux, and this year in October it was gorgeous. The weather was great. Went there the year before in November. It wasn't that cold.
Yeah.
So I haven't really experienced a Sault Ste. Marie winter. I know Charlie Burns will tell you
Yeah.
all about how cold it is up there in the Sioux. But again, what an awesome place to play, right? You can feel the history when you walk into that building.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there. It was a great experience to get to play there for the first half, and a lot of history with that, with Wayne Gretzky and stuff being there. So pretty cool organization to start my OHL career with.
Yeah, they do a great job too of honoring their history. You walk right outside the room, and everything there is about all these greats that have played within that organization, that played in the NHL. It's just a really cool environment. It's, again, you mentioned there's not really a lot going on. The Greyhounds are kind of like that only show in town, so it really obviously helps attendance. Just I imagine a really cool place to play. I always love going there.
Yeah, the fans were great there, and they had Joe Thornton came the year before I was there, I think, or 2 years ago, and then they made the Jeff Carter jersey retirement this year. So a lot of people come back, and we honor their time with the Sioux, and it was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, with Jeff Carter coming back, you were around for that game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did he like come in, give a speech and everything? Like,
Yeah,
what was that like?
Yeah, he came in and kind of just talked about what it was like when he was there and all the changes and stuff, and how lucky we are that with the new rink, because he played in the old rink there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you would have played in the old rink.
So yeah, you got to see that for the first time, and he kind of just talked to us, gave us a pregame speech, did the lineup, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one rink that you always hear. The old rink was like one of the true like icons of junior hockey, and I imagine the facilities now are significantly better than the old rink would have been, and I can imagine he had plenty of stories about that. But that is one place that if there is one rink in this league I wish I would have gotten to see a game at, probably the old Sioux Gardens. Like, it looked like a pretty cool old school barn, and like not many left these days in this league.
Yeah, it was. I've only heard stuff about it. I've never seen it, so the way he talked about it, it was pretty old, and he was pretty happy that we got a new rink to play in.
I do like that they kept the lighthouse right out in front there, because that was like the old entryway to the old rink. That was a nice touch when they did build the new one. It was mid-early 2000s when they built that new rink there. So, never got to go there, but that place looked pretty awesome. So obviously you get traded mid-season. Talk me through what it's like when you get that call and know that you got to pick your life up and move to not only a new city but a new country.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a change. I mean, we heard there was talks of George going to the Sioux for a while, and then we kind of found out that either one of us had a chance to get traded. And then I think it was January 9th, I just came back from the rink after practice like any other day, and then got a call from Raftis, the GM there, and then said I was coming to Erie. And obviously definitely a change growing up in Canada. Coming to the U.S., it was definitely, I didn't really know what to expect, but it was pretty easy to transition here. Everybody was nice and supportive, and it's a great place to play, so I'm pretty happy.
Absolutely, and obviously a unique situation. When I ask you about 3 goaltenders, little unique, right? Like, talk me through what that relationship is like inside of the goaltending room, and the support, I guess, that goes alongside having 3 goalies. And have you ever been a part of something like this?
No, I've never had 3 goalies really. Like, at the start of the year in the Sioux, we had 3, but the one ended up getting sent down. So full-time 3 goalies is definitely different, but it's a great environment because we all push each other to be better. Now you're not only competing against another guy to play, you're competing against 2 other guys. So every day it's a battle to get better, and we push each other every day, and it's a great experience.
Yeah, 100%. And it's got to be unique too, right? Because the starts are kind of getting divvied up, and then one night you're in the press box, the next night you're on the bench, and then the next night you're in net. Like, it's a unique situation. I thought it was interesting. A couple of weeks ago, we had a Friday game on the road, Saturday at home. You didn't travel, started the next game. That must be nice as well, as a benefit of, okay, I can get to bed at 10:30 for a start day the next day, as opposed to getting home at 3 a.m. after not dressing. I mean, that's one benefit to it, I would think.
Yeah, no, it was good because we played in. It might have been Guelph, I think.
It was Guelph.
And then we played Kitchener the next day, and then being able to go to bed at a good time, and then I got to pregame skate in the morning. Instead of getting back late at night on the bus and having a bad sleep. So it's a lot better that way because you can be more ready for the games and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that would just make life a lot easier because okay, I'm starting the next day. You can kind of mentally prepare yourself for that. And again, that communication has to be so vital, right, for you guys, of just knowing, okay, I'm going to start the next day, go home, get nice rest, and then come back out and you're ready to go. Yeah,
no, it was great. And then ended up playing pretty good against Kitchener that day, and then we ended up losing in overtime. But it was pretty good that I could get a good night's sleep and be ready for the game.
What's been your first impressions of Erie and of the crowd here at the EIA?
The crowd here is unbelievable. Like every day, always fans, always loud in here, and they just love the team, and they love seeing us win. So when we're able to get them some wins, it's a pretty awesome feeling. Yeah, for sure. I think back to even last Saturday and just how packed this building, and 4,000 just over the attendance. I said on air, it feels like 14,000 in here. It's just like especially when you're down there on the bench, you just feel that energy right on top of you. Yeah, no, it gets loud in here. It's fun to play when the crowd's into it and they're making a lot of noise, and it makes the team play better. Yeah, 100%. So talk to me a little bit about your game, and obviously, your style, a bigger guy. How does size kind of help you in terms of your style as a goaltender? Yeah, size obviously is a pretty big, helpful part of being a goalie. You take a more net, and then also it just sometimes puck just hit you because you're so much bigger, and then it's easier to make saves because you take a more net. There's not a lot to shoot at, um, and I can kind of just play further back in my net than other goalies. I don't have to challenge as much, so I can get across the net easier. If I have to make like a T push or something, it allows me to stay back more because I still cover that net compared to a smaller goalie that might have to challenge a little more and take away more of the net. So
you can almost compare to Noah Erliden and kind of his style of game versus yours, right? Where he's always kind of coming out of the net, challenging for pucks and playing, more of a unique style, right?
Yeah.
Where you're more stay at home, kind of, lock it down. And again, when you have that size, it allows you, right, to, you're taking up more of the net just by natural circumstances, right? So makes life a little bit more easy in a way, but also what can some of the challenges be with being a bigger goaltender?
Yeah, obviously when you're bigger, a lot of the time, like people think you're like a little slower just because your legs are longer. You got more body to move. So obviously that could be something. So skating's obviously a big thing that you work on and try to be as quick as possible so you can keep up with the smaller goalies.
Yeah, 100%. It's always fascinated me. I mean, the style of goaltender, especially nowadays, has moved bigger, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's become more of a thing. I mean, gone are the days of Darren Pang, 5'8" or whatever in net for Chicago Blackhawks back in the day. I mean, now bigger guys, the equipment has changed so much over the years as well. I'd imagine even since you've been playing, right? Like, just the developments and everything.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes. I mean, the first set of pads I got are a lot different than they are now, and a lot more protection. Even as when I was young, a lot of them would hurt, but now you're pretty protected.
Yeah, pretty well protected in there, making, again, saving the puck a little bit less of a challenge, and obviously that's what it's there for, right? But like again, the sizing of pads has changed so much. It was a time where it was like, okay, big pads, and then like they got really small, and I feel like they've kind of gotten bigger again. It's kind of interesting to watch and I know Mark Childerley would know a little bit more about that than I would, but just how things have changed over the years. And for you, obviously playing here in Erie, you've been here for a little while. You've been able to kind of settle in now, and who's maybe made that settling in process a little bit easier for you?
Yeah, honestly, everybody here, my teammates, the coaches, any staff, like my billets, everybody's been supportive, and they made me feel welcomed as soon as I got here. So the transition was pretty easy, and obviously the team, we're really close, and everybody hangs out with everybody, has fun with everybody. So it's pretty easy to come here and enjoy it.
100% makes life a little bit easier when you guys are as close as you are. And obviously, you mentioned everybody does kind of hang out with everybody, and that's something that's been kind of a tradition here, I feel like, over the last few years. And was there anybody that you had like a prior connection with within this organization, or was this a brand new experience for you?
I didn't honestly know anybody. I just knew Charlie Burns, obviously, because he played in Blind River the year before I did. And from my coach, so I knew of him. Never actually talked to him, but other than that, I didn't know a single person coming here.
Yeah, that's got to be interesting, walking into that locker room, and especially knowing like a lot of the Toronto guys grow up with each other, even some of the American guys growing up with each other, playing with each other, through the ranks of their time. But walking in and be like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm Noah. I mean, what is that feeling like?
Yeah, I know it was a little scary at first, obviously, because I joined the team on the road in London. So I kind of got there when they were getting to the rink to unload all their stuff, and I just kind of walked in with my stuff.
It was pretty late at night, too, right?
Yeah, it was.
After a game.
It was like 11:30-ish, 12-ish, I think. And then, I met the team in there, and obviously I was walking in with all my Sioux stuff. So it was a little scary at first, but they made it pretty easy.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, great leadership group as well within this team. And obviously, some changes within this organization, you being a part of that, coming in here and building alongside, these guys that are going to be here. What is that like and been like? Obviously, I know the results have sometimes not been there, but again, just kind of building alongside this process.
Yeah, I mean, we're a very young team. So obviously the more experience we get, the more games everybody plays, everybody's going to get better. We're going to be a pretty similar team next year, so a lot of guys are going to come back. So every year you just keep building and you keep trying to get better than last year, and hopefully
Yeah, and you hear in this league too, the more guys that come back, that usually, bodes for more success, obviously, just with how tight the group is. How important is that to have, a bunch of guys coming back and being a part of, the season before, coming back and being a part of that?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we have a lot of new guys this year, a lot of rookies, a lot of guys that's their first year in the league, including me. But the more you play with each other, when the team's almost the exact same the next year, and everybody plays with each other again, people get more games. Everybody just gets better. You know what to expect from everybody. There's like a standard, and you play to that standard, and you just build every year.
What has been the biggest thing you've learned throughout your first full year in the Ontario Hockey League?
That's a good question. Just that it's a tough league.
Yeah, it is. That's one thing you hear is, right, that jump between, especially minor midget to the OHL. That's as a 16-year-old. But for you now, as more of not an older guy, but right, you've been around junior hockey for a while. I imagine that jump, it probably hits you right away, right, in that first handful of games?
Yeah, the first few games was definitely an adjustment. It's a lot quicker. Also, the teams are just deep. Anybody on any team can score a goal, so you kind of have to be worried about anybody. Not just the top lines. Anybody that comes down, they can all score goals. So you got to be ready for anybody.
That's fascinating because, yeah, in the OHL, right, it can truly be anybody. But you look at probably some of the teams I imagine you played. If you shut down their top line, you're going to be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
That's obviously so tough. And I was even in here the other night when we got back from Guelph, and there was a Gannon-Barron club hockey game going on. And I was like, man, just take for granted the Ontario Hockey League and watching as much OHL hockey we do, and just how good this league is and how much fun it is to cover this league. And I imagine being down there and just the speed of the game right away. Was that something that jumped out?
Yeah, definitely. The speed of everybody in the passing was probably the biggest thing. Just because you got to get quicker. Can never be too fast. So just adjusting to that. And then you settle in, then you're okay. But that was definitely a big adjustment.
Yeah, again, the speed of the game and just, how quick some of the top teams are too, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, anybody can beat anybody, but you look at, some of those top teams are built with guys that are going to be playing in the NHL in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Just, I imagine, what's it like staring down a guy like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're, like, some teams are pretty strong. They're pretty deep. You just gotta know that any night we can beat any team, and we can win any game. So you kind of just gotta respect them, but know that we're all in this league for a reason. We can keep up with them. 100%.
And obviously for you as a goaltender, I know the stereotype is out there around goaltenders, right? You got to be a little bit, I don't want to say weird, but to play the position, right? Like, although I would say we had a pretty darn good group of pretty, straight, normal, pretty great guys, in between the pipes here. What would you say about that?
Yeah, there's obviously a stereotype that a lot of goalies are weird, and honestly, a lot of them are.
And that's fair.
But yeah, I think our room, I like to say I'm a pretty normal goalie.
I would like to think so as well. You seem pretty, flat. Noah on a game day, you can talk to Noah early at any time. And like that's usually, with goaltenders, you just kind of let them go and do their thing. It's almost like a starting pitcher in baseball. But Noah come up to you like, hey, man, what's up? What's up? I'm like, dude, you're starting in an hour.
Yeah, that's the thing. Me and Bernie are a little more dialed in when we play. But again, like I said, when I don't play, I think I'm pretty normal. So is Bernie. And even Noah, I think we don't have a very weird goalie group like the stereotype says, so it's good. Yeah,
100%. So you mentioned you on a game night. What is that routine like? What is that like? I know you're a pretty early arriver to the rink.
Yeah, I mean, game days I like to kind of keep stuff pretty similar. Like I'll eat the same pregame meal, pasta with ground beef and red sauce every time. I'll usually nap around the same time for an hour and a half, and then me and Trev usually get to the rink around 4:15. Usually only 2 guys are there before us. And you kind of just tape my stick, go stretch a little bit, and then we have our meetings and everything, and then I'll kind of do some more stretching, do some ball work, just kind of get the eyes going and listen to a lot of music, and then I'm ready to go.
What kind of music you listen to before a game?
Rap.
Okay.
Yeah, rap only on game days, that's it.
Like new, old school, like what do we
Mix of everything.
Okay.
Just I had a playlist for a few years now, and it's just use the same one every year.
Really?
Yeah.
Just keep it consistent.
know almost every song on it. Like I know what song's coming after the other one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I've
Nice.
listened to it a lot. So yeah.
Hey, whatever works, man. It's gotten you this far.
Yeah.
Is there an artist that stands out on there that you really enjoy listening to on a game day?
Honestly, like it's a mix of everybody. Like,
Everybody.
it's not even just one person.
Just like a who's who of hip hop royalty.
Yeah, like it's just anybody that has a good song that I like, and I've kind of just stuck with it.
Heck yeah, man. That's pretty sick. That's what I would usually, back in my playing days, which is a recurring segment on this show. That's usually what I would have going to the headphones and get ready to rock and roll for a game, right? Like you just get you going, get you ready to go, good energy, good vibe, and all of a sudden like, let's do it. I mean, music plays such a big part, I feel like, in a game day routine. It's fascinating to me just how sport and music go like so close together. And as a player, as obviously in the rink, in the locker room, it's such a like something that brings so many people together.
Yeah, exactly. And like for me, the rap just kind of it puts me in a mental side where I'm not too jacked up. Because if I'm too jacked up, like you want to be calm as a goalie, you don't want to be too like.
It's almost the opposite effect as a skater.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they want to be all fired up and everything, and I feel like as me, I want to be calm. So the rap kind of it gets me like fired up, but I'm not too all over the place. So it kind of keeps me calm, but I'm in a good mental state where I'm focused.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because you hear all the time about all right, like, let's get fired up, everybody around. But as a goaltender, usually you see the goalie kind of first out of the tunnel, just kind of like set, calm, not really, doing much, just kind of locked in, right? Where everybody else is, high fives and running into each other in the hallway, right? Like, I always, it's interesting. But again, with the position and what it takes to play that position, that is obviously an important aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty big. The mental side's probably one of the biggest parts of it. So, whatever you need to do to be in the right zone and play good is really. It's different for every goalie.
Well, let's step away from the rink a little bit. Obviously, you haven't been here too long. We're about a month and a half into your tenure as an Erie Otter, maybe even just a little over a month here.
Yeah, a month and like a week.
Yeah. So, what have you liked about the city of Erie so far, and have you had a chance to really check anything out yet?
Yeah, honestly, haven't really checked anything out. Just we get food mostly every day, and so I kind of just see stuff driving to get food, but haven't really gone for like a tour of the city or like driven around or anything like that, but it's a nice city. Obviously the rink's pretty nice and everything, and outside of the rink my billets are good, so yeah.
Absolutely. Was there a favorite food spot that you've encountered so far in your time here?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the fast food I don't have like close to me at home in Canada, so we've been getting Chipotle a lot, Chick-fil-A, all that stuff, and then we tried Bro Man's Burgers.
Okay, yeah, that's local spot.
Yeah, one of the best burgers
really
I've ever
good.
had. So we go there once a week.
I've never been, and I'm a big burger guy. I need to go check it out. Right by where I went to high school.
Yeah,
Collegiate
Academy. It's a great
out.
place to get a good burger. It's probably one of the best burgers I've ever had.
Okay, that's you've heard it here first. We'll have to get them in on a corporate partnership. That would be that'd be pretty sick. Lori's is another one that we always hear on the podcast. Like the big time breakfast spot.
Haven't gone there yet though.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a place that if you talk to an Otter 20 years ago or an Otter now, everybody goes there. That's like it's been passed down through the generations of the Erie Otters. Like it's a game day breakfast spot.
Yeah, I usually just eat breakfast at my billet house when I get back, so haven't tried it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things.
Well, and we've had so many games in such a short amount of time. I mean, January was weird because it was Friday, Saturday, pretty much the entire month.
Yeah.
But now, like, you had 4 games in 6 days, and a lengthy stretch there. But what else do you like to get into away from the rink?
Honestly, here, like during the season, just watch a lot of TV shows, just kind of find something new to watch, keep me busy. Or haven't played video games that much this year, but usually video games are my go-to. And then like in the summer and stuff, love to golf, a lot of other sports, just hanging out with my friends and everything.
Yeah, 100%. Just enjoy, the summertime.
Yeah.
Video games. What video games are you into?
A lot of different stuff. I'd play sports games like MLB, NHL, then I'd play Call of Duty, Rocket League, almost everything.
Nice. So just everything.
Yeah.
What system you on?
PS5.
Okay, that's fine. I only do the sports games for me, but I always enjoy, MLB The Show.
Yeah.
I'm a big baseball guy.
Yeah,
so
same.
are you a big baseball guy?
Yeah, I played baseball till I was 16. I think.
There's so many baseball connections
Yeah.
on this team.
Yeah.
You look at Caden Edwards, and him. He'd mentioned somebody when he was on the show a couple of weeks ago that he grew up playing with and against. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, I love baseball, man. It's just the best.
Yeah, I played until I think the summer, going into my first year junior. I think from when I was 4 years old to 16. So I played for a while.
What made you transition into hockey?
I just kind of always put hockey first.
Okay.
Because we'd train through the winter, and I'd kind of not really go. If I had hockey, I'd go to hockey over baseball, obviously because it wasn't in season. And then I just started going to hockey more than baseball, so I kind of just figured I had a better chance of doing something in hockey than baseball, so I gave it up.
That's fascinating. Are you a Jays fan then?
Yeah.
Nice. So obviously great run
Yeah.
last season. I am a lowly Pirates fan, but I do love baseball, man. I travel all around the country during the summer to go to different ballparks and just take in the scenery and cities and everything. There's nothing better. I mean,
Yeah, I've been to a lot of different stadiums.
Really?
With my baseball team, yeah.
No way. What's your favorite one that you've been to?
Pittsburgh's was pretty nice.
Pretty good.
And then St. Louis was pretty cool.
Good one too. Yep.
And we went to Atlanta when they renovated
another
it.
good one.
So Atlanta was nice.
Another good one.
But yeah, a lot of cool ones out there.
I've been to all but 5. I'm going to finish them off this summer. So the only one I've heard that is close to Pittsburgh is San Diego. And I'm going to get to go there this summer.
Yeah,
so
that'd be pretty cool.
Looking forward to that. But yeah, Pittsburgh's still my favorite. I love San Francisco.
Yeah.
Have you been to Baltimore? Baltimore's a good one.
Yeah,
Really
I went
cool.
on the field in Pittsburgh.
That's sick.
Got to go on the field. Yeah, that was
That's
pretty
sick.
cool.
Yeah,
experience.
that is really cool. I got to go on the field in Minnesota. Steven, who used to be our mascot back in the day, is now the Twins mascot.
Really?
And he hooked us up with all kinds of access and everything when I was there over the summer. Just, there's nothing beats just a summer night at the ballpark, man. It's just awesome. Toronto's a cool spot too.
Toronto
right
is good.
downtown.
Yeah.
Always enjoy a night game there with the roof open. Is always
with the CN Tower
great.
lit up, it's pretty nice.
Pretty good spot. I thought they did a really nice job with the renovations as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Over the last few years, it was previously wasn't the greatest. I went there first in 2017, and it was all right, it's fine. But really impressed with how they've renovated over the years.
Yeah, I went there in the summer to a few games, and it was pretty nice now.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, we could probably talk baseball all day, but we'll bring it back to the rink here to kind of put a bow on this. So obviously, as you wrap up this season, what are you looking to kind of get out of the rest of your time here this year and looking ahead to the summer for next year?
Yeah, just obviously building off of what I've done so far this year. Just play as many games as I can the rest of the season, and then go into the summer and keep building, and then hopefully come back next year and have a great year.
Absolutely, man. Well, we're looking forward to what should be an exciting year ahead for you and for this team, and really appreciate you taking some time joining us here on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for another edition of the Off the Record podcast alongside our friends at the Gem City Sports Podcast Network. Remind you that we're on every Thursday, 7 p.m. on the Gem City Sports Podcast Network, presented by Rebich Investments. And if you miss it, you can join us on the Otters YouTube channel. So many other places. More information on ottershockey.com. For our guest, Noah Tegelaar, my name is Trevor Cabea. Thanks so much for joining us on another edition of Off the Record.